Greetings everyone, this is Ducar4, and today I'm going to bring you yet another Battlefield 4 news video. Now throughout all this year there has been a massive amount of news flooding over the internet, such as speculated release dates, unofficial beta release dates, and many other details regarding the game. But that is not what I'm going to cover today. Today we're going to take a walk through the official system requirements for the PC version of Battlefield 4. Now personally, I would just like to say that I would rather choose the PC version of Battlefield 4 over the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Reason being is because the console versions of this game will not be as superior to the PC due to there being restrictions. Now it is very impressive to see that the next generation consoles themselves will actually be able to handle 64-player servers. But on the graphical part of the game, it will be fairly limited due to the amount of processing that these consoles will have. I believe the DICE should have let the limited player count from Battlefield 3 onto Battlefield 4, and to be quite honest, the player count on the current gen consoles was absolutely fine for me. The next generation consoles have a full potential of playing the latest games on nearly high and ultra settings, but I think that DICE prefers performance over quality. We still have yet to see what Battlefield 4 looks like on the next gen consoles, which is a little awkward considering that they could have had a chance at PAX and Gamescom. Overall, the game should look very similar to the PC version with high and ultra settings. So what do you think the next gen console version will look like, quality wise? Feel free to leave a comment below. Alright, let's get to the official specifications of Battlefield 4. Now looking back at Battlefield 3, DICE has confirmed that the performance from the previous Battlefield will be quite similar, which basically means if you could play Battlefield 3 at maximum settings, achieving 60 FPS, you won't have any problem on Battlefield 4 performance-wise. A month back, DICE has also stated that AMD users will seek better performance with their AMD hardware. Some may call Frostbite 3 Frostbite 2.5 simply because it wasn't a real huge jump from the previous engine, but there is a very notable difference on Frostbite 3. AMD could probably expect a huge jump in sales over the next couple of months and 2 weeks before the official beta is released. Back in early August, DICE has posted the preload date of Battlefield 4 for PC players that pre-ordered the game for beta access. September 27th is the date that has been confirmed in the United States for a preload of Battlefield 4, which starts on September 30th of the Battlefield 4 beta. Now let's take a look at the system specifications for Battlefield 4. For the minimum possible requirements, the operating system is Windows Vista Service Pack 2 with 32-bit installed. For the processors, we have an AMD Athlon x2 or X2 with at least 2.8 GHz and the Intel Core 2 Duo with at least 2.4 GHz. For memory, the minimum required is 4 GB, and graphics cards, we have the AMD Radeon HD 3870 and the NVIDIA GeForce 8800 GT with at least 512 megabytes of video RAM and at least 30 gigabytes of hard drive space. Now the recommended specs are as follows. Operating system, we have the Windows 8 64-bit. Processor, we have the AMD 6-core CPU or an Intel quad-core. Memory, we have 8 gigabytes. Graphics cards, we have the AMD Radeon HD 7870 or the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 660. The maximum amount of video memory is 3 gigabytes. Finally, the hard drive space is 30 gigabytes, which is the same as a minimum. Now it is for certain that the beta will definitely not be 30 gigabytes, but this size may be for various DLC purposes only. Comparing these requirements from the previous Battlefield, we can see that there is quite a difference in hard drive space and the minimum amount of RAM required. Nonetheless, this shouldn't be a problem at all, but it is extremely recommended that you consider upgrading your RAM to at least 4 gigabytes. Hard drive space is straightforward. You know, if you don't have that big of a hard drive, upgrade it to at least 500 gigabytes, which is pretty cheap nowadays. If you do happen to have a dual core and are planning to play Battlefield 4, you may have a chance with around 20 to 25 FPS with a fairly decent graphics card. All in all, upgrade to at least a quad core if you are on a tight budget and save up for a Core i5 or a Core i7. A Core i7 may seem like a little bit of an overkill for this game, but if you are looking forward to playing on 64-player servers on maxed out settings, go ahead and upgrade. You know, if I were to recommend a graphics card, it would have to be the AMD 7750 with 1 gigabyte of DDR5, which is the card that I'm currently using. On Battlefield 3, I was able to maintain 50 to 60 FPS while playing on medium and high settings without any problems. And this card is pretty cheap at around 90 to 100 bucks on Amazon. So as the beta moves closer and closer, everyone is upgrading and getting their setup ready. I personally am not going to consider upgrading my computer because it has handled Battlefield 3 just fine, and I shouldn't see some, if any, problems in Battlefield 4. But before the beta, I may just clean out my entire computer to ensure the best performance experience as much as possible. What about you? Do you consider upgrading your computer or just upgrading small things like your RAM or your graphics card? I would like to know. Leave a comment below, and that will conclude the video for today, and I hope to see you guys in a Battlefield 4 beta. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe. It will really help me out. Anyways, I'm DudeCar4, and this has been a successful DudeCar4 production.
To your life it will creep. It starts when you're always afraid.